YouTube. Gosh, it's been forever, it feels like. You guys, I freaking got this bra from this thrift store and I hate it. I'm talking to the camera. I know, it's crazy. Kitty's like, here she goes again. What up? So you guys, I haven't been on here for quite a while, but I got my CPS papers, and I know you guys heard me talking about getting them. You guys, before I even finish though, so I wanted to read a few pages. I read the entire thing, almost, not the entire thing, but a lot of it. 5, but I know a lot of you guys don't have the other app. But, so, even though a lot of people told me don't get these papers because you're going to be, you know, da-da-da-da, it's going to make things worse, I feel like it actually gave me so much clarity. And I talked to my cousin, my dad's niece, my dad's brother's daughter, and it's just double confirmation, you guys, that my dad never really loved me. Like, my dad always cherished, and my mom, I know my mom loved me, but my dad was always putting my brothers before me, and like everybody else was more important than me. And so just talking to my cousin, you know, confirmed that, and I don't know, it just really made me like a little bit sad, you know, just because of everything. But I'm relieved that I got these papers. It really opened my eyes. For 20 fucking years, I questioned myself. I questioned what I did wrong. I questioned, you know, so many things. And now I really fully understand that it wasn't what I did or what I didn't do. It was my family situation. Hold on. I feel bad, but Kitty can't get out of the window. It was just the whole situation. Kitty! Anyways, you guys. So, I'm not going to read all of these papers because there are a lot, but, walk in from blank, maternal aunt to Jamie. Blank reported that she had just left the hospital to see Jamie and was referred to the hospital staff to CPS and was given this worker's name. It's funny because they blocked the name out a few times, but then, and they do it good. They do Sharpie and then white out. Like, I could not fucking figure out who these names were for some of them, but some of them I can see. Anyways, basically it says, according to Loopy, which was my mom's sister, her sister Rose Marie, call her this AM to report that CPS had taken or came to the hospital to see Jamie and the baby. Rose advised that CPS was going to be taking the baby, and Loopy stated that she didn't know where Rose or my sister were living, and if it was possible for her to get my baby, basically. Kitty! No! Kitty! According to Loopy, Jamie showed up at her home, brought there by some guy that she met at a store, which, you know, I would always have to ask for rides and shit, little ass 14-year-old kid. In March, she stayed for 12 days. She said that she took her to the doctor because Jamie was complaining about stomach bothering her. They said that Jamie was 3.5 months pregnant. Loopy reported that Jamie got kicked out of the house by her stepmom, Cheryl, who is married to Jamie's father, Daniel. Loopy stated that she went by the house on Blank Street, and Daniel was supposed to be living there. The house was completely boarded up, and it states that there is a CPS history and a drug history. She stated that she believed Daniel has custody of Jamie. According to Loopy, Jamie stayed with her for 12 days, and her mom came to pick her up. My mom was in jail, and I was living with my dad, but basically, I was, you know, just off the hook because my dad and them were using substances, and just really, really sad, you know, situation. They asked if Rose was ever involved with CPS, and she said that she was, that their other sister got guardianship of her 2 younger children who were 8 and 9. The 2 youngers lived with my aunt for 2 years, but eventually my other aunt got them guardianship, and they reported that they're first with her, and then they went to her, and then they went back to her. Blank was asked if Jamie was in school, when she showed up at her home, and Loopy stated that she was not in school, and she believed, here's the fucking kicker, she believed that Jamie has not been in school on a steady basis since 2nd grade. And if you guys are OGs, then you would remember that I said when I was in 2nd grade, my teacher actually had to drive me home because my mom forgot me at school. And my teacher, Mrs. O'Day, they say 2nd grade, but I feel like it was 1st, but I'm not for sure. Anyways, I was about like 6 years old at that time. But anyway, and I remember my mom, like, okay, the school was shut, you know, and I was sitting outside at the school, little tiny kid, and I remember that my mom, you know, never showed up. And so my teacher said, you know what, how far do you live? You know, I think I can probably take you. This was obviously back in that day, because nowadays, like, totally not what they would do. But I remember telling my teacher, you know, oh, I live just right down the street. And I couldn't believe, like, I remember telling her, like, I didn't know exactly what street it was, so I was still a little kid, but I said, you know, it was by Fresno College. And so she drove me there, and then I was able to point out the apartment. And then I remember, you know, getting off the car and my teacher saying, you know, I want to make sure your mom's home first. And so I had to knock on the door, which my mom was drunk and asleep. My mom ended up, like, waking up or whatever, and I had to tell my mom, like, my teacher's outside and you have to say you're here. And I remember my mom freaking the fuck out. I remember she was so mad. She was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're gonna call CPS. And I was a kid. Like, what's wrong with me? You know, boom, you know. Jamie hadn't went to school, studied since 2nd grade. Loopy was asked if Jamie used illegal blank, and she stated that she knows she does. She uses them with her older sister. Loopy reported that the situation is not good either, and that her older sister was caught on videotape at a convenience store where she was working at the time, where she was videotaped in the back of the store snorting some drink with a male friend. She referred this worker to an officer in blank who knew about this case. She also reported finding some white stuff in a ballpoint pen that was used by Jamie's sister, believed that it was some type of drug. Loopy stated that she knew that Jamie was using with her sister. She stated that one of her daughters seen my sister, you know, snorting and stuff. Loopy commented that she was glad that this has happened, and she believes that it's Jamie's sister who called on her, which it really wasn't, and I know it wasn't. Nobody called on me. To get me in this predicament, nobody called on me. My mom was drunk. That's how this began. My mom was drunk. I walked into the hospital with my drunk mother, who stench of alcohol, who hadn't showered in fucking weeks. I hadn't showered in weeks. I was fucking dirty, dirty, dirty. And nobody called. But for years, I thought that they did. We did. We thought that. We were like, one of you guys called. But that was a denial of me realizing, like, nobody called. It was obvious that we were not okay. And now I know, you know. It's sad, but that's the reality. And so she talked all about her daughters having all these disabilities and da-da-da-da-da. Jamie, and then she called again. My aunt called again to see, you know, what the status was and da-da-da-da. And, okay. Here's the kicker. And this is how you know the system failed me, okay? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold on, there's another one, 7 pages with referrals to CPS. Fucking 7 pages. One of them only has 3, and the rest have 7 each. So, general neglect, 9/5/2000, emotional abuse, 12/1/2000, general neglect, 8/31/2000, general neglect, 3/14/2002, general neglect, 5/2/2003, and it says substantial risk, 1/18/2001, 4/17/2000, 11/30/2000, caretaker absence incapacitated, 12/10/2002, 12/13/2000, 8/7/2002, 7/22/2003, dude, and I mean fucking pages. and pages of this shit. These are all, like, the dates, right? And it says, okay, sexual abuse, general neglect, emotional abuse, general neglect, caretaker absence, incapacitated, emotional abuse. I mean, pages. And there is sexual abuse mentioned 3 times on these papers. Okay, of me. The youngest was, well, wait, I don't think that one's the youngest. This one says from 2001. But there is tons of these referrals. So, to me, seeing that many referrals was alarming. I mean, who do you know that had that many referrals and, like, nothing really was ever done? Like, they got my sisters, but to safety, right? But not me. So here's the other thing. And I might repeat myself. Okay, so a rep called to make a referral on a 14-year-old Jamie who gave birth to a girl preterm at 35 and a half weeks. The rep stated the mother was indeterminate for amphetamines. There's no prenatal care on record. Rep states the family moved from Fresno. The grandmother, Rose, was there with Jamie and smelling of alcohol last night. She got defensive when asked questions. Rose was reported stating to hospital staff when Jamie was asked questions, "Let me answer the questions or you'll get us into trouble." Rep also reported that hospital staff reported that Rose was eating her daughter's breakfast meal, and Debbie was upset with this grandmother, which, I mean, imagine a little fucking 14-year-old having a baby and then the mom eating her breakfast. But it makes me sad hearing that, Kitty! Because my mom was hungry, you know, and I would have never been like, no, don't eat my food, you know, obviously. But it says the nursing staff, so there's so much shit, you guys, that I could go into. Like, it's fucking alarming. It says they advised my mom, the grandmother, Rose, that I wasn't, you know, going to be able to keep the baby. Rose was holding a blanket and did not have a purse. She reported that she was nervous and didn't mind speaking with this worker. Several times during the interview, she started to cry. That makes me cry. Because I remember my mom, like, I didn't get pregnant because of my mom. You know, I got pregnant because I was with my dad, but they were both using, you know, like, we didn't have a stable home, no matter what, you know. I was out of control, and I'll never deny that. I was out of control, literally. Like, I wasn't an adult. I was a grown-up. I was a mini fucking grown-up. Not because I wanted to be. It irritates me for the people who have told me and my family, like, oh, well, you were out of control. Like, I wonder why. I mean, when you have no stability, like, it's really hard to be stable when you have no fucking stability. Like, you can't, you know, give yourself something you don't have. Basically, so there's so many things in here, you guys, that make me so sad. So my mom made a statement several times that she wanted to go home and clean up, and that she, you know, wanted to go get sober and recovery home, but she came to this county to do that, and they asked if I used any illegal blanks while pregnant. My mom says not that she knows of. She denied everything. My mom said that I was living with my dad, and that if my mom ever took me to a prenatal appointment, and she said no, she didn't have a car, but my sister did. Rose reported that my sister was 26 at that time, which that makes me sad too, you know. Makes me really sad because, you know, my sister was only 26, and I mean, honestly, I feel really sorry for my sister because she's really not ever been able to get out of that lifestyle, you know, and living in motels and just being on substances, and it really just breaks my fucking heart because no matter what, that's still my sister, you know, and I just wish, even though she's really not ever been a sister to me, you know, I've wished and begged and prayed for God, you know, to change her heart, but it still makes me sad because she was 26 years old. And she had a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 9-month-old. And prior to that, she had a set of twins. And their father was reportedly... Oh, and she had 6 kids also by 26, just like me. me, I followed, you know, right in their path. My mom had 6 kids, but my mom had 6 baby daddies. I had 4, so I had 2 less. And my sister had the twins from one man. Then she had 3 from one man, and so she had 3 baby daddies. She had 1 less than me. Okay, not bragging about it either, because it's not something to brag about. But they said, my mom said we were living with my sister, but that really wasn't true. My sister would, like, let us stay with her sometimes or shower, but she would yell at us. She would go crazy. She'd be like, get the fuck out of my house! Get the fuck out! She would go crazy and scream like that. And it was scary because we would have to fucking leave. And we would have to hurry and leave. It wasn't like we had time to grab our stuff. It was like, hurry and grab your stuff quickly. And, you know, I mean, it was just, like, very chaotic. So my mom said that we were living with my sister, but my sister kicked her sister, but she kicked us out. They asked Rose if she has a criminal history. She said she does. You know, that was used in court against me. You know, both of my parents were criminals, and, you know, our family was gang affiliation, and all of those things were mentioned in court, you know, and it's really fucked up because it just is. They asked Rose if they had prepared for the baby, and she said that we did. And we did. We had everything for the baby, but they were all in Fresno. Because that's where we were living. But I think CPS was on to my mom before, and so obviously from all these reports, they were, whenever CPS would be on to us, we would move. And so they wouldn't find us. As soon as CPS would come on to us, we would pack our shit up and move. And, she advised that she really wanted to go home and get a bath and clean clothes and comb her hair. She was asked if a home visit could be made, and she said yes, but really it couldn't be made. And then, Rose went with the cop to my room. Rose attempted to awaken her daughter several times. She was still groggy, but did awaken and stated that she had to go to the bathroom to pee really bad. Worker noticed that Jamie's fingers and feet were very dirty, appearing to be blackish in color, and that hurts my fucking soul. The fingernail area. Rose shook her lightly and told Jamie CPS was there to take the baby, and I was so out of it. If you've ever had a baby, you're very tired. It takes a lot out of you, and I was 14, and I hadn't slept so many days prior to that, and really didn't have food or really anything, and so I was just so tired. And I remember them waking me up, and I just was so tired, and they kept trying, and I'm like, God, I couldn't even open my eyes. I was so tired. They tried to wake me up, and I wouldn't wake up. And then I'm trying to see, and they asked me if I knew what amphetamines was, and I said I didn't know what that was. And they asked Jamie if I had any prenatal care, and I did have some prenatal care. And I met the nurse that was actually the nurse who was the reception and the nurse at the time when I had the prenatal care. I met her a while back at church, actually, and I just thought, wow, because she said, do you remember me? And I said, you know, I don't really remember you. And then she explained who she was, you know, that she was there, and she seen me, you know, asking my dad and asking for rides, and that I would call, and I would say, I really want to go, because she would call me, and she would say, Jamie, you really need to make it to your appointment, you know, and I would say, I want to, but I don't have a ride, and nobody will help me, and, like, it's just so sad, you know, because no matter what, I was only a little kid, you know, I mean, childhood never had a chance, you know. Hospital visit with Jamie. When arrived, Jamie was in the nursery with Rosemary in the rocking chair. She appeared to be appropriate with the baby, was holding her in cuddling fashion. She kissed the baby several times. I noticed a bottle of formula, and they asked me how much she ate. And the nurse reported about a few ounces, told her that this was good. This worker was advised by the nurse that the doctor was discharged Jamie and wanted to know if CPS had a hold on her, but they didn't. They didn't try to keep me. And I really do wish that they had tried to keep me, because I had to go back home with my mom, and my sister let us stay with her because I had lost the baby, and she felt sorry for me. And, but it was really hard because they were using meth, you know, and it was hard to be around that and not, you know, use, obviously. But, I mean, it wasn't hard because I wasn't going to use. I was never fucking planning on using. As soon as they kept my baby, I knew that I fucking really fucked up. As soon as they didn't let me leave with my baby, I remember going to my sister's and I didn't even have a want at all. When I seen them doing it, I remember I felt so fucking disgusted inside of my soul. For once in my life, I had clarity and I knew that I did not want that life. And I really tried hard to get out of that life, you know. But my mom wouldn't stop using, and I remember I would follow my mom around and I would tell my mom, "You're gonna go to jail. Like, they are gonna take you to jail. You have to fucking stop." And my mom was like, you know, "That's your baby. That's your problem. That's not my problem. That's your problem." And I remember begging my mom, please, because they told me my mom had to be sober or they wouldn't give me back my baby. So I was trying to find the one where it says, because they asked me if I knew what, you know, amphetamine was, whatever. The nurse was asked how Jamie's interactions with her baby. She reported, that she didn't, she stated she didn't if she was upset or in pain. Oh, because I went in to see the baby, and they said, she stated that she fed her and has been rocking her and asked for clothes to dress her. The nurse reported seeing Jamie crying. That's sad. Because I knew I couldn't take my baby and I just didn't understand why. And I would ask them, why can't I take my baby? And they would say, you know, we're so sorry, we don't know. And worker went back to the nursery where Jamie and the baby, the staff had given her some clothes, sleeper, gloves, and a pink cap. Observed Jamie dressing Rosemary. She placed her in a bassinet and dressed her appropriately. She took time to dress the infant, lifting her upper body, her arms, and was gentle with her. After dressing the baby, Jamie sat down on the rocker with the infant. This worker advised that the results of her tests had been received and asked if I had taken anything. And, oh no, had not been received, sorry. Worker advised that the results of her test had not been received. Jamie was asked if she used any illegal blanks and cough medicines, and I said no. I wish I would have known. I could have said yeah, and I would have, you know. Jamie was asked who Rosemary's father was and stated I didn't know, but I didn't want him to get in trouble. But it says, could there be several possible? And I said there could be, which is even sad, you know. I'm fucking 14 years old, you know. Worker asked Jamie if she was aware of being discharged and if her mother was picking her up. She was aware and her mother wasn't picking me up. I called my sister. She couldn't pick me up. My mom and sister didn't have a phone, and I hadn't gotten any callbacks. And it says worker also advised, like they could arrange for transport. It says Jamie became teary-eyed and then asked this worker why she could not take her baby home. And she went on to say that her baby didn't have any drugs in her, and she didn't either. And I didn't. Like, they fucking retested me and the baby, and we were both negative. And so, just knowing that, you know, like, if my mom wouldn't have come in like that, I don't think they would have taken the baby. I really don't. I think, you know, if my mom wouldn't have come in with the alcohol and all crazy, I don't think they would have tried to take my baby. So I went to the CPS to have a visit, and Jamie held Rosemary throughout the visit. Just prior to the visit, I spoke with Jamie about CPS having filed a petition on her also, and what this meant. I repeatedly tried to explain that reunification between Rosemary will be very unlikely if her mother wasn't, and it was very unlikely, and they knew that from the beginning. They fucking sold my baby before I ever even had the chance to get her. She stated that she knows, because they told me that it's unlikely unless my mom gets sober, and I said I have to take responsibility for myself and Rosemary, and I can't continue to worry about my mom. They explained that there's a possibility that she could be tamed, and I asked her what that, you know, that would be like, and she just chuckled. It says, I explained that they explained reason Rosemary was in placement is because I am a flight risk, they said. as I have a history of running away from placements. And I didn't say anything. And I would always run away because I always wanted to be back with my mom because that's all I fucking knew. You know, I mean, I would run back to my mom because that was really all I knew, and nobody seemed to understand that. It says she would like to go with her baby, and I explained down the road this might be possible, but they want to see what my motivation to stay clean was. She stated that I used prior to have Rosemary was born, but she'll be clean from now on. Jamie provided a urine sample. Jamie stated that she understood her mother was sick, and her mom was sick and there to pick her up. When we went back to the lobby, Jamie's mother was standing there. She had dark glasses on. I introduced myself and explained she missed the detention hearing yesterday. She stated that she has pneumonia and is really sick. I requested that she call me so we can talk and reminded Jamie Rosemary's visit was tomorrow. Okay, foster parent brought Rosemary in for a visit. They waited till 9:20, but Jamie did not show up. Rosemary is looking real good. Remember, I was 14, and it wasn't up to me. I didn't have a ride. I didn't have nobody who would help me. I had no fucking support. When returned to the desk, Jamie called, was in crying, very upset. She stated that she overslept and was on her way. Jamie arrived within 10 minutes of the appointment. An adult male transported Jamie to the office. Jamie arrived in her slippers and pajamas and was very upset. I provided her with the calendar of the assessments, and I explained that she needed to, keep it in order to come. She seemed very appreciative of this. Okay, a telephone call from Rose. Rose sounded extremely intoxicated. Her words were slurring and could hardly focus on the conversation. She stated that she was trying to clean her storage. She then stated that she doesn't want to see Jamie lose her baby. I explained to Rose in order for her to reunify with Rosemary, she would also have to work on services so that she can keep Jamie. She had very little response. She then stated that Jamie told her that she was going to get arrested if she did not contact CPS. I explained that I do not have the authority to arrest her, but at this time, Jamie is living here, there, and everywhere with no support from her mom. I advised her that if circumstances do not change soon, Jamie will go into foster care. Rose kept stating that Jamie's father, Daniel, isn't taking no responsibility. Everything is always put on her. Rose stated that she would let me know where Daniel is staying. Surprise, Daniel's in prison. Telephone call from Rose. She stated that she has found a detox program and she wants the county to pay. Telephone call from Jamie. She stated that her mom is a dual diagnosis. She reportedly participated in Pismo. Rose's thoughts seemed to be scattered. It was hard to get her to focus on one thing. She began about not thinking that Rosemary should go to Loopy's house for placement. When questioned why, she said that her kids have a lot of medical problems, and she stated that I request that she provide me with information ASAP. Rose went on to state that Loopy has offered her daughter, my older sister, and she did, and me, $10,000 for their children. Because her daughter couldn't have babies, and so she tried to buy, she got my niece from my sister. She blackmailed my sister into giving her my niece. And, she wanted to buy my baby, and I told her, I remember her face when I said, I wouldn't give my baby away, not even for $1 million. And she just was like, because I wasn't going to budge. Telephone call from Jamie letting me know that she'd have to cancel today's visit. She's going to Six Flags. That was a lie. I fucking wish. I've never been to Six Flags in my life. They probably just made me do that because they wouldn't take me. Telephone call from Jamie this morning. She stated that she was ready to go to foster care. My daughter was born September 24th, 2003, and this was November 4th, 2003 when I called, ready to go into foster care. I asked her if she knew where her mother was. She stated she spoke with her mother, who told her that she was already on her way to her sister's house to pick her up and take Jamie to CPS. She said that she would be there today. Jamie presented herself at the CPS office to go to foster care. While talking with Jamie, She stated that her mother came to her sister's house today and told her to get her stuff together because she was driving her to CPS to place her in foster care. Jamie gathered her things. Her mom dropped her off at the CPS office and left her things at the end of the stairs outside the office. Her mother never came into the office. Prior to driving out, Rose reportedly told Jamie that she wanted no part of CPS or the case. She then drove off, leaving Jamie outside. Jamie told me that she just wished that her mother would care more about her and make an effort to help the family. Jamie told me she just wished her mother would care more about her and make an effort to help the family. Jamie stated that she knows the only way that she'll reunify with Rosemary is if she starts to work on herself and not depend on her mom. Jamie provided me with 4 phone numbers where the child's father could be reached. His grandma, his mom, his dad, his ex-girlfriend, and I wrote down a list of things which Jamie needs to take care of: postpartum checkup with drug testing, parenting. Jamie was scheduled for a visit with Rosemary. Jamie left several items for Rosemary. She wanted Rosemary to be able to wear them before they got too small. Jamie will need a clothing allowance as she has very few clothes. And I'm all done with this, you guys, but I just thought I would read this. Oh, wait, one more thing before I finish, and this is like the last thing. Okay, 5 more minutes. Okay. Telephone call from Rose. That was later that day. But this was a lie. My mom was not sober when she dropped me off. And I would tell my mom that the CPS was gonna take her to jail because I thought that would like scare her into getting sober. But she just couldn't. Message from Rose. I'm sober today. Jamie needs to be placed. We have nowhere to go. She left no phone number where she could be reached. That was at 10:30. At 2 p.m. message from Rose. I dropped Jamie off at CPS office. I will contact for an assessment. I love Jamie no matter what. Jamie is really upset. And I was, imagine your mom dropping you off and saying she doesn't want nothing to do with you or your case. And I was only a child. Telephone call from Jamie, and I wanted to come in early to talk to them, and it says, Jamie says her foster home she's now in is very chaotic. She described it as dysfunctional and not normal. She went on to state that the person had too much on her plate. She is caring for her dying mother-in-law that requires a lot of assistance, and she's not mobile. 9 children in a daycare, 4 children of her own, and a husband that assists very little. Jamie reported that obviously I was very fucking smart because, I don't feel like a lot of people would have stated things the way I did because I was already a parent, literally, I was the mom of my sisters and stuff and my dad's kids. Jamie reported that because of the daycare, the home gets very dirty. Her and the other children are required to clean the bathrooms twice a day, sweep and mop the floor 4 times a day. The daughter is reportedly a straight-A student. However, she comes home early every day from school. Jamie believes she may come home to help her mom with the house work or the daycare. Jamie is still not enrolled in school. She reported that the place took her to the charter school to get the independent study info. Jamie signed the form, and so did Blank, and was advised to drop the forms off at the school. However, as of today, the foster mom had not done that. I advised her that this would be addressed with the transportation because she needed to be in school. She stated she wanted to be in school. Jamie stated that she's just worried that she's not going to get the help and she needs with school and encouragement to do her own case plan. I didn't. Surprise. I explained that I would contact the transportation if other placements are available and see if they could help me figure out a placement for me. She stated that blank is giving her, oh no, yeah, basically nobody ever helped me. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. This was hella long, but this is important to me. I'm really glad I was able to get these papers. And obviously, I'm going to be sad for a fucking while, but hopefully I can write a book. You guys, I really want, that would be my dream, to write a book. You know, because, you know, just hearing everything, you know, from the beginning till now, like, I never really had a chance and stuff like that. And the fucked up thing is that from the start to the finish, okay, this happened in November 24th was when I had my daughter, you guys, and on, I'm trying to think, okay, and that was 2003, okay, and then let's see, here's the most fucked up part. So, let's see really quick before I finish this bullshit. Okay, on 4/11/2005, so I had her November 24th, 2003, and in 4/11/2005, they go to my sister's house, who was on substances, and it says right here, and so is my mom, they didn't, it says they didn't want, like, okay, so, wait, where is it? Okay, so they went to my sister's house with the police, and it says Rose answered and said my sister wasn't there when I got there, and I knocked, blank answered the door, and later told that they were sleeping. They shut the door, they opened the door. Both appeared to be under the influence, and my sister looked like she was on marijuana, laughing, and did not look good. And Rose got custody of me. They still gave my mom back custody of me, so I don't know. But anyways, pray for me, please. I'm gonna be emotional, and I wish I could write a book, you know. I mean, I have so much fucking crazy shit I've gone through. My life is literally like a fucking crazy ass story. Alright, you guys, bye.